Hi everybody and welcome back to another day of Nimz Ramble. I'm Nimia Kote and today I'm going to talk about hardships. Since I talked about self-growth yesterday and I personally did not have the most peaceful nights of sleep, I'm not feeling well too much physically, but I'm going to talk about this anyway. I decided to still work on this video and shoot it and send it because you know what? Even through hard days, you push through and you fight. So here it goes. I'm going to start you off today with a metaphor. Flowers are beautiful, right? You see them, and especially when they're in full bloom, you watch them and I love lilies personally. You look at them and they're beautiful. And you know what? People that are in full bloom are also stunning. Personally, I know people in my life that are just in full bloom and I find that it's beautiful. However, you got to remember that like the flower needs sun and rain, a person who has grown to their full potential, has bloomed completely, also needs times of joy to get through the hard times, but it also needs times of hardship to be able to build strength, to be able to teach you what you want inside. Life has kicked me down in my life very often, but looking back now, even on a day where my energy ain't that high, I can tell you these things for guarantee, all right? Life is constantly in motion, right? We're made on a molecular level of energy, atoms, and cells which vibrate and move. There are many times in my life when I thought that I was the sun and everything revolved around my wants and needs, and that if I paused and took a break from the hard times, all those wants and needs and people would too. I was the queen of the fight or flight state because I grew up being the only girl, having 5 brothers. My parents abandoned me, so I thought that if I act out and I mean, then they'll notice me, then somebody will see me. But you know what? Things are constantly moving. And it's not until I came upon the Brainathon and Jake Ducey that I really realized that I wasn't making a mistake in my everyday habit. And the way I was thinking, I had to choose to say, no, Nimz, I am not stuck. I am in motion. And the only choice is whether I go forward or I go back. So, lovelies, for you today, I have a question. Knowing that life is always in motion, do you choose to go forward or go back? I know that if I look back, I would never want to go back to what was behind me. In life, everything's constantly in motion, so truly nothing's ever set in stone. This notion really eased my mind a lot. And in a time in my life when I thought there was simply no hope for me. I'm going to share with you guys a time in my life when I remember when I was about 15, I had just lost my boyfriend at the time to suicide. May you rest in peace, GS. I was in full bloom in my addiction, and I had very little parental support, being from having 4 brothers. And I was about 85 pounds. I was always high on something, and I was very, very suicidal. And then one day, like an angel, a social worker came into my school and told me that if I did want an out, I could. I was old enough to choose whether I wanted to stay at my dad's or if I wanted to go into foster care. And you know what? She just came into my life and she helped me to see that I needed this. So I did go back into the foster care system, and it saved me and it gave me a way out of my toxic phase. So lovelies, if you are in a time of darkness and pain, remember this, all right? Nothing is set in stone. Everything in life are made of phases, like chapters to a novel. So don't stay stuck at the cliffhanger, okay? The cliffhanger is the best part of the story. It does not mean you have to stop there. You have to see how it ends. Don't go back to the beginning, In life, especially when you're at the cliffhanger, it's important to believe. Believe in you your inner strength, knowing that you've already overcame so much. Personally, when I look back on my life now, I know that forward, no matter what, I used to be my own worst enemy in my head. I've had faced worse things in my past. So you know what, whatever life has to throw at me in the future, I am not scared. So believe in your inner strength, because I know that you lovelies have that inner strength and that inner warrior in you too. Have faith in a higher power of your belief. Believe that, there's something, there is something up there that gives you that strength. Whatever it is that you believe, have faith. Because you're alive and existing for a reason. You would not be alive today if you didn't have a purpose. You might not see the grand design, you might not see your purpose, but because, we tend to get lost a little bit, mind fog, distractions, but you know what? There is a reason you are here. Please remember that in times where you just don't see it. Have faith that good is coming, because guess what? Things are always in motion, and life is made of phases that act like life lessons. Therefore, learn your life lesson and you will never have to go through that phase again. If you don't learn that lesson, you're just going to constantly repeat until you learn. Don't do like me and stay stuck in your own personal hell loop until you actually learn. Try to see what is it that those negative things in your life trying to teach you, because the sooner you learn, the sooner the cliffhanger ends. It's important to remember also that during hard times where you want to give up, that beautiful things can surface sometimes. If life was only good, then you wouldn't have anything to compare the good to. And then who would enjoy the good if we didn't know that it was good? Hardships aren't the thing that's supposed to break your spirit and get you down and make you want to die. The hardships are supposed to humble you, to teach you that there is always a way out, to teach. It's the best teachings. It's a blessing in disguise, because it's where you find your inner warrior. It's where you find that inner strength to push out your hands and not fall on your face. No, I'm not going down without a fight. Today I'm going to get up and I'm going to fight for myself. I'm going to do what I think is right for my inner self. So please, lovelies, never give up, because you are beautiful, you are worth it, and I promise you that good is always around the next corner. But if you just go back to the familiar, you'll never ever be able to enjoy the good. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a beautiful, blessed day. I love you all, and mwah! See you tomorrow, lovelies.